Hey, it's Matt Moscona. You found it. It's AFR LSU, your home for daily content on your favorite team, Fighting Tigers of LSU. And we're proud to be presented by BetUS, where this football season, get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use the promo code YouTube150. Now, enjoy the video. Always our pleasure to spend this time with Sean Salisbury every Tuesday. It's incredible information and knowledge he shares with us each week. All right, man, we started. You said you were excited to talk about Nussmeier. There's things I want to ask, but I'm going to give you a blank canvas here. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll just say this. Is there a tougher player at the position, mentally tougher player? Physically is obvious. A mentally tougher player at the position in the country right now? If there is, This year I haven't seen him. I love guys. This is going to sound odd. Any of us, including me, Matty, at times, could play really well when things are going great. It's when things kind of go to hell in a handbasket. You put your team in a bind with a couple turnovers. Do you still have the guts to find a way to get it done? I know that sounds cheesy, but find a way to get it done and get it done in big fashion in hostile situation, even though it's at home against a good team, and make it happen when it would have been easy after you start to struggle, get your head down and make a second interception go to a third one. I'm going to tell you something, man. I think that the LSU is one of the sneaky players in this because, well, their defense, let's not, before I get going, their defense, that's who LSU is supposed to be defensively in that football game. But back to Nussmeier, when you got that guy, which LSU knows about that guy, Burrow, and look what our guy is doing in Washington right now. Jaden Daniels, the way he's playing. So Nussmeier's, first of all, his DNA, it doesn't fall far from the tree. His dad was a tough guy, but this guy is different. And LSU's used to this, but the average fan watching it may not be outside of Baton Rouge. I'm telling you, to make some of the throws he made on late in that game on fourth down, to understand not just the physical part of it or where to throw it. Before I get to the one that took him to overtime, which I've watched 100 times, and I'm going to use it when I'm talking to my young quarterbacks as teaching material for how you throw the ball, which I try. I paint it to them. I paint it to my quarterbacks, that coverage and how you make that throw, and I'm using Nussmeier's that tape for it. But I go to overtime. First off, love the way you come out instead of run it, give me a quick – let's attack them when they're just coming out of overtime, and let's let them get into overtime. Let's see if their defense is sitting on their heels. Are they ready for this?
We'll get right back to the video, but I want to take a quick minute, remind you about our friends over at BetUS. Great partner of ours here this football season on AFR LSU. If you love the sports bet like I do, make sure you check out BetUS. They got a great offer for our viewers. When you sign up, of course, you get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150. It's all on the screen. Let me show you how easy it is to use BetUS. You go to the football tab. You select college football. Let's say we want to bet on the Tigers and the Hogs. There's the game right there. Tigers laying 2.5. I tell you what, that feels like a cheap price. These games are always close, but can LSU cover a field goal on the road? I think they can. Maybe let's bet $25. Place the bet. It's going to ask me to confirm. Couple of quick taps. There's your confirmation slip. And just like that, my bet is placed. Yours can be next. Get to BetUS. And remember, use that promo code YouTube150, a 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your next two deposits, up to $2,000 with our friends at BetUS. Now, enjoy the video.
So you do the old stutter go. And here's the thing. When we run a stutter go in football, you know what we automatically think is that you're going to run by the guy, so throw it to the back pylon. That's the first thought. Breaking the huddle, you think stutter go. We've run hitches. We've run underneath. They're expecting hitch to get a completion, move it down closer, slant route. It's stutter. Mm-hmm. Well, LSU, the Ole Miss guy played it right. So you come back out, you make a little pump fake, and the little stutter, the DB doesn't bite like you expect. A little bit, but gets out of his back pedal. And what's he do? Still stays in front of the receiver. So the normal throw would be throw it, but the defenders are still out in front of it, and it's a 50-50 ball, and you hope you get it, goes out of bounds 2nd and 10. What does he do? Underthrows it on purpose, because after he makes the pump thinking I got to throw it deep to the pylon because he's beat the guy. Now he just drop it in the end zone and catches it because the guy's still in his back pedal or sitting on his heels on the stutter go. What's he do? He throws an underthrow because the guy played the stutter pretty good. Underthrows it, guy overruns him. He's still thinking fade. Ball comes up short. You've seen it, and boom, ball caught, touchdown. Now, really quickly, let me take you, and I could name a bunch of throws. The guts at the end of the game to keep making fourth down throws and keep being accurate and using his feet and using his arm to keep plays alive. I'm going to tell you, Matty, he's carrying 10-pound shot puts his balls, man. I'm just telling you. He just is. Those you use them in the Olympics because they are dangling, man, because he's got them. That it was two-man, so people understand when we play two-man in motion, the two corners and the linebackers underneath are playing man coverage.
You're talking about now the 4th and 5.
I'm talking about the one to get him to overtime,
yes,
the fourth down throw.
Got it.
And I had heard you mention, Matty, about why not get the first down.
Yeah.
Here's why, and I'm with you. I see too many, hey, it's 4th down and 2, throwing a fade out of the end zone, right? What are you doing? I see that in the NFL. Like, give me a high percentage. Let's live to play another down, and it's the last play of the game. Well, the game wasn't over, but it was a 4th down play, so you got to have big stones to throw it. Is when they play two-man, what it is, folks, you're playing man underneath and two high safety, so you're guarding against the fade route because you can't throw it against two high safeties because they got each of them got half the field. The place to attack is the bender, the beater, the bender where it's a two deep is the middle of the field. Now, if it's zone, you got to read the Mike linebacker because if he gets underneath it, which is his job, then you throw the check down to the guy checking down to the crosser in front of him, get the first down.
Yeah.
If it's two-man, vertical routes on two-man are hard. You want crossers or that bender versus two deep. So what they do is if you watch, they trail. They let the guy jump out in front of them. The underneath coverage guys trail because they know they got help over the top. They're guarding against any dig route, the deep in cut, to take the pick that Brady and Breeze threw so well, the pick route, the mesh play. So what does he do? They run the inside slot bender, which is against two deep. I tell quarterbacks, and the greatest play in the red zone versus two deep is the two deep bender where the slot guy leans at about 10 to 12 yards, takes the middle of the field. Everything with wide safeties. You got all that opening. But the trail guy, if you look, when that ball came out of Nussmeier's hand, the receiver was not open. The trail guy was trailing, and you can't – matter of fact, the receiver couldn't see Nussmeier, and Nussmeier can't see the receiver. But here's the number one, what I was telling you about young quarterbacks. This is the epitome and the perfect example of throwing of anticipation. I'm sure he's talked to his old man about this a million times, but anticipation of trusting what you see, and that means pre-snap. He knew damn well when that ball was snapped because they motioned, it's man because they followed the guy across. Okay, we got motion. Man, is it man everywhere? He saw the two high safeties. They're playing man under and two deep zone. So he knows right now, I'm going for the bender. Yeah. I'm gonna throw, and he throws him open. Guy leans, runs. The ball comes out, and if you look at I love the end zone shot of it because the ball is out and it's a one ball. We call layering 1, 2, 3. So you got to get it over anybody underneath, but it's a rip shot, and he throws that ball with anticipation. He doesn't see the receiver's eyes or the jersey. Everybody's back is turned, and he throws him open. He threw it exactly where you had to throw it with the right. If that ball's too high. Somebody makes it, safety comes off, his guy may make an adjustment. It's got to be the right trajectory. It's got to be thrown on time. Put your foot in the ground and let it rip. And you can't be, well, should I throw it? It is once you know coverage pre-snap, you say, the bender's going to beat him. Bam! Throws him open. You could teach a lot of Sunday guys that throw. That is a throw that is against two-man. They've got the great coverage on. The problem is the throw, if he's hesitant, the guy beats him to the bender. The guy he'll undercut him. So what's he do? He leans, ball's out, runs right through it. You have that is a difficult throw, but a friggin' great one. And then I'm thinking, I'm watching Stones to get him in that position. I'm saying, I don't know what's going to happen. But then on fourth down, that dude makes a rip shot bender throw versus two-man and anticipates. When you throw it, I guarantee people are at home. If you see it, go, no! Oh, my gosh. So to date, I've seen a lot of great throws in college football this year, but in the moment of that game, in your home crowd audience, toughest place to play, but it's at home, and you've had a tough game because if he would coming out of that game, they would have talked how tough he was and how good he is. But man, Nuss put us in a couple bad situations. But to not worry about it, not let the first quarter or second or any other throw bother him, And then to have the guts to pull the trigger, because a lot of times when you make mistakes early, you're hesitant to make that throw. He hits the bender on a rip shot for the touchdown and then goes down and they attack right off the beat and go and score. I loved it, and that will be in my teaching files on how to throw a 2-deep bender versus 2-zone or 2-man with anticipation and throwing a receiver open. And that's the only way that ball gets fit in there.
I love it so much, man. You know, it's funny.
I just used up your whole segment, dude. I just want to keep talking about him because I've been impressed every week, but there's just another step to a game of that magnitude, 2 playoff caliber teams, and for him to have the nuts to throw that ball in there, God bless him, man. I loved it.
I'm so glad it's where you went, because So, Sean, the question I asked Brian Kelly in this press conference yesterday was about that play. And I asked. And
I haven't heard what Brian said. I'm curious to see what.
No, so that's why it's even good that you went that way, because I asked it as to say, look, it's 4th and 5. Like, if you don't get 5 yards, the game is over. And you took a shot. So was that the call, or did Garrett? And he went through. He said, well, you know, it was the 3rd read in the progression, so he went through his progressions. But the way you said it was like, no. He knew immediately where he was going with that ball, and we're showing the clip, Sean. I mean, there is no – he ain't going through 3 progressions, dog. I mean, he hit that back foot, and it was out of his hand. It was incredible.
Listen, Brian's right. You're designing that play. Well, maybe we got something a little safer.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, Xavier Thomas is coming on a crosser at the 10-yard line, and he is open by 5 yards. I mean, it's his first and goal.
Some kind of dig route. Everything you want horizontal runaways versus 2-man.
Yes.
And it's all. That's why playing this quarterback position is so great. Yeah, coach, I get it. But I got the ball in my hand, and I make the decision. And he'll live with the decision. I mean, Nuss would. What I love is that, okay, he goes through it, but breaking that huddle and seeing, okay, motion across man. And he saw the safeties, and it's not just pre-snap, but the second the ball snapped, fly to their deep half. So he's sitting there thinking, okay, if I have to reset my feet and hit the crosser, I will, but hell no. Yep. I'm putting a foot down on their throat, and then you got to execute the throw. The decision was great, but it's all fun and game. That's why I love a quarterback. Don't come and tell me, what'd you think you see? What'd you see? I'll never blame you if you saw something from the quarterback stand. If you come on and say, well, I thought it. No, don't think anything. You saw motion man, wide safeties. You had a guy if you needed to reset your feet and you couldn't pull the trigger. I can promise you, Nuss knew when that ball was with the motion and they split, and right when the ball snapped and pre-snap, where he wanted to go with the ball, and it presented that big window for him to rip it in, but it didn't look like a window because the trail man guy could have undercut it if it's not the perfect throw or with perfect anticipation. Yeah, and Brian probably said, well, the 3rd one, but he's got a big old smile on his face, realizing that his quarterback had the balls Brian wants him to have to take that shot, man, but also make that throw.
Oh, man. Sean, we're and we got to go, but listen, I'm glad you just did that in the detail you did, because that is a play that I said this on Monday, and I think fans understand it, but for as long as we live, we are going to talk about that play. And so every bit...
Defining moments, right?
Yes.
Defining plays. Agreed, Matty.
I mean, every bit of detail about that is something that we will tell and retell forever. Like forever and ever. It was one of those days and one of those plays.
And I know you got to go, but listen, if they go on and get where they want to go this year, you're going to look back at that series, from that, and then to jump right into overtime. And it wasn't a missed throw. It was a smart throw because the stutter didn't work on the DB. So he put together some great decision-making, which those guys that coach on Sunday are going to friggin' love.
Yeah, man. Great stuff as always. Sean Salisbury. I'll get him on Twitter, X at Sean Unfiltered. You're the best, man. We appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you. Loved it, man. Thanks. Congrats, man. Hopefully the Saints can match it this week, brother. See ya.
We need the good vibes with the black and gold as well. Thanks so much for watching the video. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, hit the bell so you're notified when we post a new video, and remember to support BetUS, where right now you can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Be sure to use that promo code YouTube150.